Yo, what's up, people? This is Silo Wantas and welcome back to another episode of the Chatroom. And on today's episode, I have Mr. Mkandawire. So, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Siro.
Yeah. So, just bring him. I had to pay for an air ticket just for him to be here. So, at least if you subscribe before you even watch the whole episode, that would be great for the channel as well. So, Mr. Mkandawire, just for the sake of people who don't know who you are and why are you here, so at least you can just brief us about your background.
Thank you, Siro. My name is Allan Mkandawire, a physical planner under the Ministry of Local Government. I hold a bachelor's degree in urban and regional planning from the Copperbelt University. I also hold a master's degree in project management from the University of Lusaka. Currently, I'm studying another master's degree from Lunguchi University and for climate change and sustainable development.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So what brings you here?
We are here, I think, more to talk about the book, the forest book, and also about my contribution to the art industry as a new journey, apart from the professional in terms of being a planner, other works which I've started working on.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how did you let's go back and try to look at how did you get into writing?
Writing to me, I think, is an inborn talent. I would say so. When growing up, I think I never thought I could be a writer. But through my experience, through the school journey from high school up to university, I've discovered that I'm a good writer, and it's through the high school most where I got waken up through the literature subjects at the high school, and from there I think I developed interest. I was in drama club at the high school, where I used to act and also write stories for the group. And I've enjoyed also watching movies. So I think from there, I decided I can write and I can create stories.
But you look so reserved, as in being on set acting.
Yeah, actually most people say so. I think from the outside appearance, I look reserved, but have a lot of characters in me. I can display, I think, a lot of characters. I can act, I can dance, so I do many things.
Wow.
So I think I believe I can be a lot of things apart from being a planner and being a manager in these official positions. Yeah.
But now looking at you, in high school, you used to write the acting, drama, and the likes. But when you went into university, you did something away from from your passion. How was it like?
Yeah, I think most of when you are young, you may have your dreams, but sometimes your dreams may be redirected depending on your background, your economic. Also, there's a family influence on what they expect from you. So I come from a humble background, and I think the main objective after finishing high school was to find a source of income to join maybe an institution or get employment where you could establish a base of income. So looking at the art journey, it's something which I think the country at large is something which we are all growing into, and it's now that we are even seeing a lot of positive development in the art. So at that time, I think there was not much hope for any family member or a parent who would wish to push their children toward that. So I think my direct options was to go for police, because I was being taken care by police people, guardians who were police officers, and that was direct. But at least to my mind to go to school, and then I went to planning, which I never had even hoped to go into. But I went there, and it was quite challenging, and because I found myself in programs which I had no history, drawing, designing, all those things. At school, I never had any subject relating to most of the courses which I was doing at university. So, but I had to adapt, and university is different from high school. It's more, I think, about group works, working as a team, and I managed to finish.
Sure.
Yeah.
So like I think what you're saying is even up to now you find you can't find a parent who will say no, my son is a musician, just push the son like this, because there's always that doubt, say those are things for people who are not educated.
I think to be honest, I think a lot have changed, because I completed my high school, I think in 2010. Yeah. If we look at the time, and innovations also, things have changed a lot. Now I think a lot of people and parents who are seeing hope in arts, in acting, in music, actually most of the parents have realized that sometimes maybe looking at someone's talent, it can be much profitable than pushing them toward this formal job. Because I think when we used to grow, the most careers which were very common is teaching, doctor, even planning. I never heard much of it at school. I would say I didn't
think even up to now, like planning, we don't hear much about that.
Yeah, we didn't. So, but now I think the art industry is really dropping. We have a lot of movies, local movies, at Zambia's Magic and the other channels, movie TV. So it's motivated a lot of people, the young ones and also the parents. I think now it's not the same. We're supposed to be seeing now a lot of parents are encouraging their children to get into the industry.
So getting back to your writing style, what are you based? What is it that you write? You write mostly. What do you base your writing into?
Like I said, there are a lot of types of writing. For myself, I focus more on fiction writing. I don't know, maybe in future I may venture into other types of writing, but currently I write fiction stories, novels. Okay. Yeah, so that's the type of writing I have chosen at the moment.
So what inspired you to get into fiction?
Fiction is a type of writing where you have so much freedom. You can explore. You are not restricted by the laws or by science. So you have that ability to explore. Mostly the power is your imagination. How far you can go in terms of imagination, then how many stories going to create. So I chose fiction stories because I'm a good story creator. You create from one event, you can create and develop a story. So, and it's a type of writing which it just gives you so much room compared to this other writing, because you need to research, you need to follow certain laws, because there will be someone to argue if you miss a point. But in fiction, there's nothing like that. It's free world. Yeah. So that's why I chose fiction, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it. The most part, I think the most important thing why I chose fiction is the entertainment and the enjoyment, the amusement which comes with lighting, sitting down, imagining, creating, seeing things which nobody can see them.
Yeah. How, like in high school, the whole inspiration of you getting into literature, what really pushed you to get into literature?
Literature, I think I was at Parklands High School in Chiranga. I never chose to be in a literature class, actually, because I think they used to allocate pupils depending on their performance, how the grades they got from grade 9 exams. So I was one of the students who did well, and I was taken to class A. So, and literature was one of the subjects in that class. So I never had the idea about it, but I started loving the stories. The books we read, Acheweb's book, Things Were Apart, Animal Farm, by George Orwell, all these books. I enjoyed them. I finished them, all of them, reading. Before even, I think I was much far ahead before even maybe the teacher reaches the end. I was at the end because I was enjoying them, So from there, it motivated even me to join the drama clubs and started even writing for the stories and started participating in terms of acting and also directing, So then I from there I just continued. I completed grade 12. I stayed in the compound as I waited to go to the university. I kept on writing. Whenever I'm bored, I'd get a book and start writing short stories, and that used to keep me busy.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, like, we've talked too much about the background of how you got into writing. Now, let's look at the results or the fruits from your writing. So, this is the book which is he wrote. Can you see it? Yeah. So this is the book. Sure. Okay. So let's talk about the forest.
Yeah, the forest is the first project in my writing journey, but there are more to come, of course. I have about 4 other books. It's the 5th book. I have 4 other books which are not yet being published, but being worked on by different editors. The forest has been worked on by Australian publishers who have helped me a lot in terms of editing, in terms of cover design and everything. So the book is how it came, how I got motivated. You can, from the title, The Forest. I was motivated by the forest. I would say I have a love for the environment. Yeah, I did my primary in the village, Lundazi, Chief Pikamalaza. At that time, I think we had a lot of the forest around us compared to now. My grandfather used to hunt to bring meat, game meat almost every day. He used to keep also bees for honey, hunting. So even medicine, he was one of the best medicine men in the village. And almost every member of the community would come to seek for help. He would just go in the bush to collect whether it's roots, leaves, and heal different diseases, So I loved the environment. When I came to the city, most of my studies, I think I used to start from the bush, that's Chiranga. So I think at that point we still had a lot of bush around Chiranga compared to now. So I love the environment, and I love the vegetation, everything. So when I went to Kawambo after being transferred from Monzi, that was 2020, through our field work planning, so we came across a big forest, huge forest by Zafico industry. And then I was just amazed on how it looked, the trees, the pattern, everything. So I wonder, like, wow, this is beautiful, I imagine maybe shooting a movie there or shooting a video. A musician goes there, shoot a video. It was nice. It was beautiful. Then I was motivated to write something. So wow, it reminded me of old days, in the environment I grew up with when I was in the village.
So it connects with the village and the
yes, because
the forest you saw by Zafiko.
Yes, it brought that nature which I grew up in. It's like, wow, it's been long seeing such a natural environment. So I thought and sat down and say, oh, okay, what can I do? By then, actually, despite the book being the first to be published, it was not the first book I started with. I started with another book which is being worked on right now. But the energy I'd put in this book, I think, was more compared because I never wanted to miss the opportunity. As I was still there, I still wanted to complete the book. So that.
So the forest was the inspiration for the motivation behind.
Yes, then from there now I sat down and started to come up something. How, how do I develop a story from this? What would be the theme? Okay, the forest would be the title. But what things should be there for it to make sense? So that was the motivation about the forest.
So can do just a quick breakdown of the book. Just a quick breakdown.
The book is a fiction book, of course, and like I said, a fiction, apart from being most of entertaining source, because I think we know fiction from movies and what, but these are stories which also they highlight problem of a society and try to bring solutions, So The Forest is a book which addresses, it picked one of the social issues our societies are experiencing today, the problem, the community, the country at large, and the most direct one from the book is the environmental issues, issues of the climate change.
So here in your opening words, you're also studying about climate change.
Yes.
So it's more of you're a man who loves the environment.
Yes, and now because I think after being hurt so much of what has happened to the environment, and I feel like I need to find a way of how I can contribute to help with environmental issues. That's why I've even chosen to go and study climate change and sustainable development. But even planning itself has a lot of things to do with the environment. We are planners, and you are planning on the environment, for the people and through the environment. So everything blends in.
So it was easy to combine, like to put all the the pieces together.
Yeah. Sure. So when I thought about the climate, I said, okay, but do it, and if you look at most of the community problems we are facing now because of lack of, I think maybe we'll say, okay, depreciation of the environment, we're having a lot of issues in terms of resources, in terms of farming, agriculture issues, because the land now is no longer the same, doesn't have the same values, even here, if we are here in Southern Province, even to feed the animals now is a challenge because you find not even water. Then waters have changed, So those are issues I picked. Again, apart from that, I created a character who passed through a lot of difficulties in life because of what happened years back when I was young, who passed through a lot of problems which to the outside and to him sometimes he didn't know where the source of those problems he was passing through. So sometimes in life sometimes we pass through things, a problem there and there, you try to do this, nothing works out. We don't know the source, but maybe all goes away to where it started from. We are in an African setup. you know, and we have our own beliefs, we have our own cultures, you know, as much as maybe others people say, no, this one doesn't exist, but they do, you know, they do. So the book picks out all those issues. You know, a family, there's a man with 3 children who is banished from the village, from his village, because he's old. He has been accused of witchcraft because of his age. You know, a man who has been practicing good medicine in the village, helping people, but later on, because of a new generation which now doesn't believe in that, you know, they point to him together with his fellow 2 old men as a witchcraft. Lucky enough for him, he gets tipped off by one of the village members. He managed to escape, and his colleagues were burned to ashes by village members that they are witches, you know. So he set up now in the forest, starting to look for where to settle with his children, you know. So that's where journey start, through the forest, where he has to battle with animals. He goes to another village where they accept him. We start practicing his medicine again to heal people, and there again a tragedy happened there. They point at him now that is responsible for the tragedy of a village. Again, they chase him up. He continues the journey in the forest, you know. And then he settles in this, becomes into this plantation, which to him he doesn't know that it's a plantation by grown, man-made, you know, forest. He just believes there's no such thing, and this God made. He chose it. Now this will be my home, you know. We're going to settle here. He settles. He starts now fighting with the company people, the owners of the forest.
All right.
Yeah, they start battling out, you know. Then the conflict continues there. So this what the book is about. So at the end, it brings up the solutions, you know. So at the end, there's understanding between the family and the company, you know, and then he gets to learn the knowledge about the forest. He understood that all this forest actually is man-made. He gets to learn, one of his son gets to learn the knowledge of forest management and protection. And then when years later, he goes back to his village, he start now helping the community. He visits the chief, who gathers over headman and sit them down and started sharing the knowledge, you know, first expressing his displeasure in terms of the environment which has been destroyed in his community, and also highlighting how he was banished because of with his parents because of witchcraft, you know, and then solutions now start coming in. So that's a forest book, which is what about.
Okay, so at the end of the day, like how does this book give hope to people around?
The book, it has got a lot of lessons. Like I said, one of the issues, environmental issues, also about other social issues we face in the community, the way we look at the old people, you know.
So getting old is a case, eh?
Yeah, now, you know, everyone, because at the end, all of us, we will get old.
Yes,
you know. If we start always looking at the old people as a point at them as witchcraft, then we're not going to have good societies, you know. Actually, we should be appreciating the old people. We should be, you know, helping them, you know, and be there for them, you know, appreciate them, you know, and seek wisdom from them, you know, because they have seen a lot in their life. But it's not the case. Most of societies we hear, you know, the old man has been, or a woman has been killed, has been done what, you know. So those are issues which the forest is also addressing, you know, to change our perspective as a community toward the old people, you know, getting old shouldn't be a case, shouldn't be a crime. It should be celebrated. Yeah.
Sure.
So those are the issues the Forest book was also addressing.
So looking at this book, it's a good book. I've started reading it. What were the challenges that you went through when you are working on this book?
A lot of challenges, of course. Writing is more like a part-time job for me, because as I indicated earlier on, I'm in informal employment working for the government, and finding a time to sit down and write is not an easy thing, because you have Monday to Friday to go to work. Then weekend, maybe that's when you have time. Sometimes you knock off. If you knock off enough energy, you'll still be able to sit down in the evening and sit down. So it's a conflict with time management. You need to find time to sit down and write. Also, you need to involve professional editors. So it was because it's a first book for me to be out there, and I had no connections. I didn't know who to approach.
Sure.
As who come to help. So even finding the right people. I would be honest. I engaged. I think before taking to the publishers, there are some people who I engaged and even paid to do the editing. But when the book came, even myself, I could tell that they have done nothing. So it's a challenge, especially when you are going in the new industry, because even you don't know who to trust and who to work with.
Yeah.
So we have the challenges, but at last I found the right people who guided me through, and they helped me. And again, even because writing is it's something only you can understand what you are trying to bring. So sometimes even you can have the right editor who knows what to do, because editing is about English.
Yeah.
But your story better. Every storyteller have got their own language, their own style of telling the story. So sometimes the editors will try to change the taste, the tone, the pace, of your story. So all that you have to protect it. You have to defend it. So those were challenges. Sometimes even the editors will send it to me, and they'll pass it. I say, no, come on. This is not how I want my story to be told. So some they will try to change the structure instead of editing issues with grammars and everything. They'll start changing your structure. They'll start changing the content, which is challenging to the writer. But always you need to.
Yeah. So it took you how many? Is it years, months, or days?
No. Actually, a fast writer. I can finish a book within, if I have enough time, within 2 months or 3 months. A first draft. So this book didn't take me a year. It took me months, but it took maybe more time with editors. Yeah, because they send you back. There's that communication until all of you come up to you reach an agreement on the final product. So it didn't take me a year. It took me, I think I would say maybe 6 months.
Oh.
Yeah, 6 months.
So what did you take out of and now you have a book out, and through the process, and what was your take home at the end of the day from even for your coming books now?
Yeah, I think right now I'm gaining experience, and I know where to go. Through this journey, I've been able to now to do a lot of research about publishers. I know how many publishing houses in Zambia at least are there, where I can go to, who I can. I have that experience in the industry. So the book has opened me a lot, and I'm also aiming to at least to go for studies, to study something relating to writing and literature language, so that I can improve my skills. Because having a talent is a different thing from having the knowledge about it. So my aim now is to go to school and study, and then keep on moving. And we are also trying to see if these stories can now maybe be made into movies, because if you look at nowadays, I think the world is changing, mostly moving toward digital. We have, I think, a small population which is turning to books. Most people prefer videos, so that's something which we need to balance, information, because the books is about, like I said, it's about solving problem, pointing out society problems and also bringing solutions. So it should be able to be translated into any format which can be accessible by people the way they prefer. You can't force someone to read a book. So if they can't read the book, what do? We turn the book into a format which will be comfortable and be able to access it. So movie production, that's why you see a lot of every movie is out there. It's a story from a book. So that's the next stage for the book to turn into something which others who don't read can also access it.
So where do people go and get this book if they want to have a copy?
The book is available on Amazon. Those who want to get maybe a soft copy. For the hard copies, the book is available in Osaka at Kulima Tower building there, just behind that corruption, but with the publishers, Australian publishers. The books are there at the stores. They can also get the book in Monze. We have the books at Bostred Beauty Spot. In Kawamba, we also have a book at the council there. They can call me and then they will find me there. We are trying to, I think, to get in. We have already started engaging some book houses in Lusaka, which we try to see if we can bring the copies into those bookshops so that they can be accessible, I think, from a lot of points.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when we look at, you mentioned about the different formats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we look, we get into that. Looking at the number you mentioned about a number of people who still go to read books, it's getting less and less and less.
Yeah.
So like how can we as parents, as people, do that and try to bring back how it was in those days of where we teach our kids to read, and that literature, rhythm, go through that?
Yeah, it's something difficult. Of course, you can't you can't beat technology. You can't slow down innovations. Because all these changes, because they happen because the world is moving. We in the old days, I think maybe even before we were born, TV was unique.
Yeah.
Only certain families used to have TV. Smartphones were not there. So books were the main source of maybe entertainment, even knowledge, learning. But now the world has changed. We just need to move with it. There are now TVs. Almost every home has a TV.
Yeah.
Smartphone. Almost everyone has a smartphone. So we can't solve that. We need to adapt, but we need to find a way. Books, we need to also understand that books are important. So I think it's mostly to do with the parenting. As a parent, you need to know that books are important up to a certain maybe age, where now someone can make their own decision what to do. But for parents, we have a lot to make sure that our children, they read. our children are introduced to books. So rather than buying a cell phone for a child who's at maybe high school, you buy them books. You read them books. For those who are as young as maybe at preschool, primary level, as a parent, you can even start reading stories with them, when going to sleep, short stories to send their children to sleep, we will encourage the culture of reading books, because we can't replace the importance of books, as much as we have this technology, television and what, but books improve someone's knowledge, improve someone's, especially the school-going children, a lot in terms of knowledge. So it's us to play that role and help our children to read books.
But parents are busy with social media now, and this it's just like that.
That's
no time for kids at the end of the day.
That's a challenge,
sure.
And we all, I think, got up with that, and it's important. I would say even I do read, I do read, and maybe the issue is trying to check ourselves most of the times. Our law in terms of parenting. We need to have time, because I think everything depends on time management. Social media is not bad. It keeps someone informed. People use social media for business, advertisement, but you need to manage it. You need to know when, if you are from work, the first thing what do you do? You check your kids. You look at the welfare of the kid, because otherwise, if we don't take that time, we find that we're having homes which are detached from each other.
That's true.
You come home, there's no connection with your family.
Your family, that's true.
You find that sometimes it's even for a couple, you reach home, your wife,
she's busy on phone.
Busy. You don't even talk anymore. She's busy.
Yeah.
So it is through books where even children can be helped as to even discover their careers, what they want to be in the future. Because through reading, someone can discover a lot. Like I said, I never had the idea that I would be a writer. But through reading books, stories, I identified myself. And despite going to university, start planning, become a planner, I still went back to what I loved. And here I am. And who knows, where these books will take me, So let's encourage our children reading the house. As a parent, we have a law to encourage our children reading, especially for those who are in high school. We need to take interest into what they love doing at school. You need to find out their talent. Today, I think talent pays more than any form of job. Sure. We've seen footballers getting paid more money.
Sure.
Music,
musicians are getting good deals and they're getting paid so much money.
We need to find out what is someone good at.
Sure.
Yeah. So we need to understand that we have a law to play to our children by getting interest to what they can do. When talk about the art industry, we have a good foundation from high school. I think there's those NATA's competition for schools. From just that program, you can identify a writer, you can identify an actor. There's music classes, music subject. So
just there, can one be a writer minus going through learning literature? Can one become a writer?
Yeah, they can. I've bought, there's one book, I think I've just forgotten the writer from, he's a teacher. He's not even an English teacher. He's a mathematician, you know. He's written a nice novel without formal knowledge about writing. So writing is not about being perfect in English, you know. It's about a story, you know, especially when it comes to fiction. Otherwise, there will be no job for editors, you know. That's why we have editors. So you can be, you know, average in English, but as long you can write something which someone can understand and interpret, then they'll perfect it. Editor, that's their job. They work on it. So you don't have to say, I need to go to school. I haven't gone to school for writing, you know, but I still believe that I can write. And with the help of editors, I managed to publish a book. So we need to nurture, I think, from that. And maybe also our appeal is maybe to the government, the Ministry of Arts and Sports, you know, to look at institution framework in our country in terms of art, you know. We need to start moving to having so many institutions in terms of art, writing, music, you know, movies production. You know, if we were to compete with the world at international level, you know, we shouldn't be having producers who are just running from compound, teaching themselves because we have nothing to do. You know, but we should have producers who have talent, musicians who have talent, and they still have the chance to find an institution. You know, right now we have a very good program under CDF, skills and development. You know, where the government is sponsoring a lot of youth to do skills. Those are part of the schools which skills which can give employment, self-employment. People, they go and learn music, movies production. They don't have to go and look for a job. They will start making money through that, and they can access others at the end of the day. All they need is to find an institution which can offer that. Maybe it's a certificate. The sponsorship is there. The government is willing to help, but we don't have much of those institutions.
True.
You know, do we have at the Copperbelt University, University of Zambia, do we have those programs? You know, where someone can say, I'm going to do a production movie or music production. You know, we don't have much. You know, we don't have much of those options, unless you have to go outside the country. If you look at Nigeria, they are doing so much in the art industry, music industry, because they have those institutions. You know, we have musicians with degrees. We have movie producers with degrees.
Yes.
You know, that's the level we need to compete at international level. So if the ministry, through the government, they can try to invest in that. We have already institutions. Some of them is just spearheading introduction of those programs. You know, because trust me, not everyone can be a teacher to be employed by government. Not everyone can be a doctor, you know, and even the capacity, even if the government cannot manage to employ everyone, you know, that's why we need the private sector. That's why we need the basic creation industries to employ. They will employ a lot of people.
So just like even each district to have a theater where at least some actors, you have a backbone from there where you learn acting from there, you know. I think that could also help the
it could. And if you look at that is secondary establishment, the acting, the question we should ask ourselves is, where does that talent go after that? You know, you find someone who was very active in drama club, tomorrow later you meet them as an accountant. You think they're going to enjoy?
No.
You know, later you find them doing something else, you know. So it's a situation whereby people are choosing a career because they feel they don't have much option in what they would love to do, you know. So from there, careers teacher at schools, they have a great job to make sure that they nurture those talents, they identify those talents and nurture them, you know. because in some schools, if you are footballers, in our time when we were in high school, if you come, the way we used to look at people who were focusing much on football, we used to associate it with people who are not performing well, people who are not, intelligent in class, yes, but that's not how it should be. There should be that balance. So it's the system where teachers to, okay, this guy is good, they keep on developing that, talent.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll see them in the national team. Music, someone who's singing well, tomorrow who do they become,
Different people,
yeah.
We have
So
different path, yeah.
That's a gap which we need to, I think, to bridge, and then we will have a lot.
Sure.
As a country.
So looking at the movie industry now, with your writing and the movie industry, are we winning as Zambian, the movie industry in Zambia? Are we getting somewhere?
We are on the right track. Trust me, we've come, I think, from very far, but we are on the right track. Zambia's magic is been really helping us, and we appreciate that as a country. We've seen a lot of local production going there, and I think it has waken up everyone. Everyone now is able to see that, people can make money from this. People can do something here, and I think that's something which maybe it should continue, and the government should take advantage of that, and even the people should take advantage of that, the community members, the youth, So we are moving on the right track, but we need more stories. We need more stories.
Yeah, so I was coming to that.
Yeah.
Looking at the stories that we have so far, are we telling our local stories, or we are just caught up in a mix of where maybe we see the Nigerian stuff and we come in as well?
I would say so far what we have seen, to personally, according to my opinion, there's some creation which I really bring our culture out. Not everything, of course. Some you can see copy and paste, but there are lots we can see at Zambia's Magic which have got our local content, because art is an industry which you promote your own culture. We can boost tourism through art. We can show our tourism features in the country to the world through the art, through movies. Victoria Falls can be seen out there through movies and attract. So it's something which we need to promote. I think the writers need to have a good job to make sure that they bring those cultures. We have a lot of cultures. We have Tomboko, we have the Benchwaras, all those. They can look at Nigeria, their culture is well known so much, but the African stage.
Yeah.
Even I think South Africa, because it's because of those. We've seen those even in music.
Yeah.
They have showcased that. And it's a challenge for the musicians, challenge for artists in our country to bring up to that. We don't have to copy from Nigeria or South Africa. We have our own. They are nice. They are okay, as long we know how to bring them out. Yeah.
So looking at this book, are we seeing it anytime soon getting into maybe you talked about different formats? We cannot force everyone to read, but some they want to watch. Are we seeing Allan Mkandawire being a director or just a writer? Are we seeing in any time soon?
Yeah, me, as a writer, of course, like I said, I'm being introduced to this, industry. So best stories, I would love the stories to be as soon as possible to be in the movie production, and the story is well written, whereby if a script writer pick it up, it will be an easy job for them to write, because everything has got, the book has got incorporated all the five senses: the hearing, the smell, the sight, everything. So if you are reading the book, you can see pictures, you can smell things, you can everything. So the book has to. It doesn't mean it has to be me to direct, because others can do. I've written the story, If I want to participate in there, I can. But I'm willing to work with a lot of people who want stories. As I said, this is the first book.
Yeah.
There are more books, and all my books are led for movie production, So I'm open to work with everyone. I'm also looking for people I can work with, and because my main aim is to have these stories into movie production, so that everyone can. Because our aim is to change the societies, to shape the societies with this knowledge. So we need to have all the formats in terms of this information and making sure it reaches to
the audience.
To the audience. So very soon, I'm sure we will have something in line with that.
Sure. So just maybe you can just share just a bit about the other projects that you're working on, the books that you have.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do not give much information about that, but we have 4 other books which are being worked on. We have, I'll give the titles. I have a presidential pardon. Actually, it was the first book. But it's the biggest book out of all. That's why it has taken, I think, so much.
It's still being worked on?
Yeah, it is being not by me, but by
the
editors. Yeah. Right. So the presidential pardon. We also have an innocent victim. I also have a street boy. So I have so many stories. What restricts me much is the time, because I have to balance work and time, and also sometimes family when I'm home. So I need to balance. But I have so many stories. The other one is sabotage. So that one is still on the draft, and then the one I'm working currently now is the castle. That one is an international book. It's not I think it's the most challenging book I've ever written, the council.
Also, like the books, they are where you say this is made for a local market, this is for the international market. Even with books, it's like that.
Yeah, it is, though. It's depending on the structure and the content, but I wouldn't say this book is for the local market, because the problems being addressed there, they are not only relating to our societies. If we look at issues of environmental, it's worldwide. So I may use the scenes, the plots, the local scenes and what, but the book, the problems are wide. Yeah. So all my books, the presidential pardon, you know what presidential pardon is.
Yeah.
This is not only practiced in Zambia. Even in America, there's presidential pardon. So all my books, the street boy, every town, city has a street. So I don't like for local market one. I like for international. But the one which is more interesting is the castle, because the castle is worldwide. And if you come and read that
that's
book,
what I asked to say.
You'll be very amazed, because the main one is Zimbabwe, which has so many sites. Zambia actually is not in here, but it's Zimbabwe, and then because it's more deals with the United Nations. What is happening? The council, the Security Council, under United Nations. So that's a book I'm like currently working on. So I'm doing a lot of research, because I have to work with research. I have to reach in towns or streets I've never been. So
interesting, huh?
Yeah.
So it's also a fiction.
Yeah, it's a fiction book. It's a fiction book.
So that's why I asked to say, is it made for the international market? Because the way you just put out the description, it sounded to say it's for the international market.
Yeah, it is. It is for that one is totally for the international market at large. So the aim is maybe to finish by the end of this year and then reach the the challenges sometimes also is with the resources in terms of publishing. You can't publishing a book is takes a lot of sacrifice and takes a lot of resources. So you have to do one book at a time. Also, you can't give the audience a lot of books at once. So those are the challenges. But we are working there, and my aim for now, I think I'm not much focusing on making money. I'm focusing on just helping the community in terms of literature in Zambia, because in Zambia actually we still have a lot of gaps. Because if you go in high schools, most of the books which are being
used there,
they are not Zambian, they are foreign. Most, I think, we have a lot from Western Africans, because our friends, I think, started writing long time ago. So we have adopted a lot of their books. That shows that there's a lot of room for everyone, for all the new writers to come in and challenge and convince the government, Minister of Education, that we have these books which we can adopt. So if we fail, meaning we're not doing much. If we fail to have our own books in those institutions, meaning we're not doing much, because there's no reason we should just have the whole syllabus, containing
foreign
materials.
So it's right time we start seeing
it gives challenge to all of us to write until we start seeing a lot of books to be introduced as a main book, not supportive book, but main book.
Local books by local writers at the end of the day.
And it very helps to all the learners, because what it means you are reading. Because look, if you read things fall apart, there's a lot of Nigerian culture, in that book. And that's what we are learning, in our schools. But if we have our own books being picked because
the
apart
book,
from English, we're going to help also the children, the new generation, learning our cultures, because they are book based on our local art, on our local communities.
So even to encourage even the learners to say, I can also write a book. If someone from my community did this, I can also do it.
Exactly. It motivates. It also motivates even the learners, like say they start reading our own books, because the challenge is the same. We're seeing all the books foreigners, So what hope does it give to? When did we started learning English in this country? Long time ago. So that's a big challenge we have, and the people in the English field, they need to do a lot. We can produce nice stories with good English. We have a lot of English experts in this country, to come up with these books. And we also just need maybe a support of the government to make sure that at least, because it's every field is about motivation. What motivations are there, what supports are there. Wherever there's motivation, there'll be a lot of people coming in. So one of them is the institution establishment, institution framework toward the art industry. So that's where we need to improve.
Sure. So looking at competition, you as a writer, do you see any competition in the writing sector?
We
on a Zambian market. That is on a Zambian market.
To me, I think it shouldn't be much about competition. It should be about because the writing we have. I think we have Zambia literature groups. So it's about teamwork, and it's about equality. So in terms of say competition, in terms of writers, in terms of what, I think we are not yet there, because there is no specific writer who can say is upstanding there. If I ask you today, say, which writer do you know who is well known by everyone? If I go to high school, ask him, which writer do you know? Zambian writer, and which book written? you know. But if we ask about Chinua Achebe, who doesn't know Chinua Achebe here? Everyone there, you know. So in terms of competition, I think the gap is still, you know, wide open up there, you know, for everyone to be seen, you know. So to me, I think it's not about a competition. It's about just producing something to make you be recognized, to make you be appreciated, you know. Because if we look at Chinua Achebe, you know, we are not competing with anyone, but just their work has made them worldwide, not even Africa, but worldwide, you know. So that's what we are lacking now, you know. We still lack that when it comes to novels, fiction, world. We don't have anyone that, so meaning we haven't reached that level yet.
Sure.
Yeah.
So someone out there wants to get into writing.
Yeah.
What are your words to that person?
To me, I would actually encourage a lot to join. The focus shouldn't be about money, because, you know, sometimes when you put money, everything, this goes for everyone, music, acting. Once you put money first, you'll be frustrated and you give up, even when you would have succeeded if you had continued. But because if you put money first, you fail on the way, you know. So they shouldn't be about money. It shouldn't be about just the love and the passion to write something. It should be about the passion to have your book in the library. You know, the advantage with books that I would die, my book still remain, my name will still, you know. If you have no book, you die, your name will easily be erased. If me have a book in the library, in the system, I'll die today, my name will live forever, you know. So it's about putting that mark. So I would encourage those who want to write, especially those in schools, in high schools, to take an interest, be writers. There's nothing to lose. There are a lot of people out there, publishers looking for writers, looking for books to publish, you know. Join the industry and then make our countries sell also to the world. But what I would discourage is to focus based on money. For any talent, even football, when you just start focusing on money, then just know that you are doomed to fail at some point before you reach your goal.
So money, when it's not coming in, then you say, thinking about fake. It's true. So
it was sacrifice, and trust me, hard work always pays itself. Whether you work hard on it, something will come up and you appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah. So as we are getting to the end of our discussion, so I just want you to tell the people once more where they can get the book and how much the book. If there are contacts, you can still give up the contacts out there.
Okay. Yeah. So the book is 150 kwacha only, both online, on Amazon. Also, you can get in touch. If you want to get the code from Mose, you can get in touch on 09795 40 and or visit the Boss Ready Beauty Spot, where you can get the copies. In Lusaka, you can go to Kulimatawa building and visit the Storen Publisher's office. Just I think just next to Bookwart.
Okay.
Yeah, you will get a copy there. Then you can also call on 097-88-02947. That's my line. You can also get a copy from there.
All right. No, we wish you well as you go on with your writing, and wish to see more from you. And I've just gotten myself this book, so you can also get this book here in Monze or Sunday Market, Kuli Salon, Boss Lady Beauty Spot. You can get this book. It's only at 150. It's a good book. Otherwise, wakara change out wabala so wali wandu ate ubala buku ya mbutu tamba ni film you need to get this book. It's all at 150, so you can get through the contacts in Wapa, where you can get the book and have yourself a copy. Otherwise, I didn't piracy is bad. Just don't just say, I'll do a photocopy. No, get the original book. So I've got in mind this is 150. So in case of people who want to follow you on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, anywhere.
They can follow me. I think on Facebook there is a page, Dawale Stories, where I think from now on we will also be trying to write short stories just for the page, apart from those which are in the books.
Okay.
So where we can have engagement with people.
All right.
So they can follow me there. They can also follow, I think, on LinkedIn, the same, Dawale Stories. So I think we can have some engagement from there.
All right.
Sure.
So thank you for watching, and you can still subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Silo One Touch Zambia. Please subscribe, turn the notification bell on, so that whenever I upload something new, you'll be notified, and not say, no, we didn't see this episode so turn that notification bell on so that you see the notification about it. So to the production team and the management, to say thank you, see you next week, bye bye.